Well, you're going to be slightly surprised because, oh, they get comfortable here. Your Ford Edge, 2012 to 2014 Ford Edge 2.0 Ecoboost. Yeah, that engine, nothing like the Ecoboost that's in the Edges now. 2015 on, completely different critter. But I will tell you, if you are curious to what the origination of your Ecoboost is, I will tell you, zoom, zoom, zoom. Remember, like, subscribe, MACTFORDEDGE on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button to help bring me up on the viewing status, of course, the algorithm of YouTube. Also, go to MACT Garage, hit those like buttons and subscribe on YouTube and watch those videos and help me out in generating more views and thus helps pay for everything that I do. Also, go to MacTGarage.com. That's right, you go there, you can also register yourself on the map under the social media tabs, and you can also buy t-shirts, that's right, along with buying stickers for the Band of One and MACT, and also just outright donate. So go ahead and join up on there, and also the Ford Edge Facebook group. Go ahead and jump on there, folks, because that's where I'm always at, and that's where you get the best information for the Ford Edge and Lincoln MKX, along with the garage, which covers all other vehicles, and that is a growing group also. See you there. Mazda, folks, your engine block in your Ford Edge is a Mazda L engine. That's right. Ford has always worked closely with Mazda. If you remember Ford Rangers and B2000s, yeah, buddy, they've got a joined at the hip situation. So, of course, they went over there and they got the Mazda L engine, the block. Now, Ford did take and do a few other things with this. They put their own head on. They changed the VCT to it, the direct injection to give it more horsepower, and they slapped on a borgwarner turbo. That's right. And it's just a standard run-of-the-mill turbo, and that leads up to all sorts of other things as far as your Mazda engine goes. That's right, you guys just got it. But hey, you're lucky in one case because we don't have the issues that the 2015 Plus has on their two Ecoboosts because of other issues. But you got a pretty solid little engine here because it doesn't have near the complaints on it as that goes. But we do have some stats to go over. Now a few stats to inject into this before we get finished is on this Mazda L. Basically what Ford did is they went and did the Ti-VCT on top for the head and pumped that up, and then they also added the high pressure fuel, which was about 2200 psi with the direct injection into the cylinders to give a little bit more horsepower and everything else. But excuse me. But the as far as the compression, the compression on the Mazda L is a 9.3 compared to the new 2015 Ecoboost, which was essentially a 10-to-1. So you do have a little bit of a disadvantage. So if you have a 2012 through 14, do not expect to beat a 2015 Plus because one, you have less horsepower and less torque, and you don't have a twin scroll, so your off the line speed isn't going to be that good either compared to the newer version. But they do have some interesting other information on this, in that it's the fuel rail pressure is, like I said, quite high, but also the timing and injection duration, everything is controlled by the Ford system that they put into this to make this run a little bit better. But as far as other things that they got going on, burn lower emissions and all this stuff. Here's the turbocharger operation with the direct injection system. Basically the turbocharger spins up to 200,000 RPM, and its designed life cycle is 150,000 miles, folks. So and or 10 years, depending, you know, what you're doing with it. Some of us have experienced less time than that, but you know, that's basically what they're saying the lifespan of this turbo is in your Mazda L. So keep that in mind. 150,000 miles is essentially the lifespan that they designed into it. The anti-surge valves relieve the boost in the intake, which can range up to 13 psi on it. So I guess you could carefully calibrate things and try to get it a little better. But basically, you know, the whole thing, the reason they got the Ecoboost out there is because the whole engine configuration weighs a good 55 pounds less than the 3.5. And we all know that weight to acceleration takes fuel, so therefore if they reduce the weight, they get better EPA numbers out of the deal too. So just keep that in mind. Those are some of the nitty-gritty specs on this Mazda L that you have in your Ford Edge, and we think it's going to work out to be a long-term thing, but you never know. Now, as far as your Mazda engine, the Mazda L that's in your Ford Edge, it's a Mazda L engine, but it's nothing more than a rebadged 2.3 that they brought down to the 2-liter. And basically what they did was it has 4 cylinders, direct fuel injection, turbocharging, etc. Plenty of collaboration between Mazda and Ford. But other things also, they rebadged this Mazda engine into the Ford Ecoboost, and that's really what they did. But the entire top end of the engine has been redesigned. So Ford took the block, but they went ahead and they added direct injection systems, and then also a lot of other things that they went ahead and did with it. But other things they had was variable valve timing. However, Ford did exclusively change that as far as the other information goes with that engine. It's not officially the same engine as the Mazda, but it has all the main components from the head down that are Mazda. So you have the direct injection, you have all this other stuff that goes there. Now your torque and your horsepower on your Mazda L engine is different than the 2015 Plus, because they progressively upped everything by 5 each increment of the generation that they went. But you started out with, I think, 240 horsepower and like 270 foot-pounds of torque or something like that. Also, the BorgWarner turbo that was installed was just a single turbo. So what ended up happening is the reason that Ford introduced this with no towing capabilities, essentially, and also no all-wheel drive, and they mated it up to the 6F35 transmission. The biggest problem that Ford had with the first iteration of the Ecoboost in the 2012 through 2014 Ford Edge was the lack of low-end torque. It could spool up and give you good top-end torque as far as that goes, but it had very little low-end, and it wasn't enough torque to make the vehicle responsive enough in order to add all-wheel drive or towing. So that was a big flop on that aspect, and that's why they dropped that complete engine configuration for the 2015 changeover. But hey, you probably got a pretty rock solid little 2.0 Ecoboost going on there, even though it's mostly a Mazda design from the head down. Things really radically changed in 2015, but rest assured, your Mazda L engine is probably tugging you down the road pretty good, and you're not having many problems with it. So, you know, in that aspect, you got a decent engine. You can't argue with it. In some aspects, it's probably a better engine compared to what they're having with the 2015 through the 2018 models. And I'll cover that later, what's going on with that here in another video. But rest assured, this parts, everything for this Mazda L engine are going to be completely different. So don't think you can mitigate the Ecoboost from your 2012 to a 2015 Ecoboost. It's not possible. besides the PCM not being capable of it. So if your 2-liter for your 2012 through 14 does need to be replaced, you are limited to only getting the engine for the 2012 through 2014, and that's it. You're going to have to swap for another Mazda engine from Ford in order to get that engine swap if it does have like a fatal problem and it has to be replaced. Also, when you buy parts, you have to be very specific that it is the Mazda L engine when you go to the parts counter and tell them the model year of the Ford that you do have, because if they try to group it together, none of the parts will fit. Parts is not interchangeable, folks. They completely redesigned the 2-liter Ecoboost in 2015 and went all Ford with it. It's an all Ford project, and it's no longer a Mazda project for that engine. So just words of advice: when you're looking for parts, working on them, fixing them, anything else, you're going to find some big differences between the 2012 through 14 Ecoboost and the 2015 on. So you want to make sure that you do take that into account to whatever you're doing. So you can't say, hey, I want to slap the turbo off of the 2015 onto my 2014 and think it's going to work, because it will not work, because the turbos are totally different. They're twin scroll, as yours is not. So part interchangeability, everything is only for 12, 13, and 14, 3 model years essentially, and that's it. So you got a limited edition there, if nothing else. But hopefully, you know, you're running good and you're having problems. I do know the turbos tend to have some rattle and wastegate issues and all things like that, but nothing near what the water incursion issues for the 2015 Plus are. But rest assured, you got a good engine going for you. That Mazda has been serving well, and we've seen very few problems with it. So, hey, if you're looking for a used one, that 2.0 Ecoboost there on that side of the house is probably a good deal compared to what's going on with the later models here. So that being said, hopefully you enjoy your Mazda. Remember, like, subscribe, join, all that good stuff. My feet hit the floor today. I'm having a great day, and I want you to have a great day too. Mercy Grill's always got a couple one-liners. Band of One's always playing some great music, and maybe there's some follow-on footage after this, some projects I might be working on.
Thank you for watching MACT's videos, and remember to like and subscribe. This is a Mercy Go production.